These next two examples are going to have you write the equation of your graph in vertex form and then state the domain and the range. So we're finding the quadratic function in vertex form. So let's just get that formula down. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Don't forget the square, otherwise it's not a parabola. And then remember, hk is your vertex. So you can pick that out just by looking at the picture. The vertex is either the low or the highest point on the graph. In this case, our point is 2, -3. So that's my h and my k. So I can plug that in directly. Y equals a times x minus is part of the formula. 2 is my h squared, and then my k. Instead of writing plus a -3, I'm just going to write it as -3. Let's think about this in terms of shifting. Inside the function is telling me to go right 2, down 3. Right 2, down 3, and that's right where my vertex is. The only thing I'm missing is the a value. I need to know, did this get compressed? Did it get stretched? Did it get flipped? Is it a positive or negative number? Well, I can see that it's going to be positive because it's opening up, but I don't know what the number actually is. So to find it, I need to find another point on this graph and plug it in for x and y. If I can plug in another x, y point, I can solve for a. So when you go to pick a point, pick one that is obviously on, like a crosshair. You don't want to pick something that you have to estimate the numbers. So for example, I don't know, that might be 1/3, it might be 1/4, I don't know. But I do know that this right here looks like the point 0, 1. So I'm going to plug that in for my x and y. My y is 1. My x is 0. Do order of operations, so do what's inside parentheses. Then do your power. So -2 squared is 4. Now I'm going to do something here. It looks like a times 4 minus 3, but I'm going to move the 4 in front of the a because it's multiplication. You can switch around the order. You do not subtract these two numbers first. That's wrong order of operations. And here's the thing. This has an a attached to it. This doesn't, so they're not like terms. You can't add those together. And you wouldn't make that mistake if you moved the 4 in front of the a. Now solve for a. Add 3 to both sides. And then divide by 4. So we're going to get a equals 1. So my equation is y equals a is 1 times, and then plug in your x, or your h and your k again. And that's your parabola. So again, a good check would be to type this into your graphing calculator and make sure that it's looking like what you have here on the paper, right? For the next part, we're looking for the domain and the range. The domain are the numbers that you can plug in for x and not get into any kind of trouble like dividing by a 0 or coming up something imaginary. And again, by looking at the graph, going from left to right, where does it start? Where does it stop? It doesn't just start here at -1 because it's going to keep on going up and out. So it's going to start somewhere way out here at -infinity and end somewhere way out here at +infinity. That's going to be the domain for your parabolas. The range, however, that's going to be unique to each parabola that you have here. The range is the lowest value to the highest y value. Your lowest y value is -3. Your highest goes up to infinity. And -3 is on the graph. So we're going to use a bracket, -3, all the way up to infinity. This is interval notation. All right. Give your answer in interval notation usually. All right, let's try the next one here. So I could do the domain and range right away. The domain is going to be all real numbers, -infinity to +infinity. From left to right, I can pick any number and there'll still be a value way down here for that point. So from negative infinity to positive infinity, there'll always be a value on this graph. The range, however, the lowest to the highest, to go small to big. So the smallest is going to be all the way down at negative infinity. And then it's going to go up as high as the number 2 with the bracket. The first number in your interval notation should always be your smaller of the two numbers. So negative infinity is smaller than infinity. Negative infinity is smaller than 2. All right, so keep that in mind when you give something an interval notation. Next, we go to the equation y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Here's my vertex. This is the point 2, 2. So there's my h, there's my k. Okay, so we've got x minus 2 squared plus 2. Now I need to find a, and to do that I need to plug in another point, x, y. So again, pick one that you can easily pick out what that point is. Don't start estimating. It's a little risky to do that. So this looks like the point 0, negative 2. So that's going to be my x and my y that I plug in. A times 0 minus 2 squared plus 2. So again, do what's inside parentheses. I'm going to take negative 2 and square it. That's 4, but I'm going to move the 4 in front of the a and then solve for a. So subtract 2 from both sides. Now this time I'm getting a negative 1 as an answer, which kind of makes sense. It's got to be a negative because it's flipped upside down. So my equation is going to be y equals, the negative's going to flip it around the x-axis, x minus 2, so it got shifted right 2, and then plus 2. So again, you can type that into your calculator and then sort of do a double check to make sure that your picture is matching up to the picture we have in the graph.